Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. This is Life in Taiwan, the channel where I talk about whatever pops into my head each and every time I sit down at my computer to write a video. And today's video, as is pretty obvious from the title, is somewhat of a sensitive one. But when I read online recently about the indictment of a Chinese spy here on Taiwanese soil, it led me down a pretty long and deep rabbit hole into the practice and the history of spying between these two countries, and also led me into asking some questions such as what the hell is going on and how could it affect us all. So this video is probably going to be a little bit more serious than some of my other videos. But when I read that Zhou Hongshu, a Chinese spy, had recently been indicted for allegedly setting up an espionage ring through a news website, and Xindang Party spokesperson Wang Pingzheng, I started to actually find out lots of other interesting information about the history of spying between the two nations, including the fact that just this week Taiwan has passed legislation to stiffen the punishments for those who jeopardize the country's national security in order to dissuade potential future spies or traitors from leaking, selling, or otherwise delivering critical information to hostile states, such as China. Which, if I wanted to act dumb and play the fool, as many people often do in my comment section regarding this subject, then maybe I would ask the question, if these two countries are actually supposed to be one country happily living together, then why on earth would they see the interest in spying on each other or increasing punishments for spies caught in both countries? But as we all know, that's a ridiculous argument and obviously not the case. And there is quite clearly a very strong tension across the Taiwan Strait between these two countries that has led to these covert espionage programs being implemented. So when I ask in the title, is China spying on Taiwan? Well, the answer is of course a very simple yes. But I feel that just as valid a question would be, is Taiwan spying on China? And again, the answer would come back in the affirmative. I think most of us can accept that every country around the world is probably in some way or another spying on the others. But is the practice of spying necessarily a bad thing? I'm sure we all like to keep an eye on our neighbors over the garden fence. And one particular example of how spying between these two particular countries has worked out in favor of peace would be the story where just last year, Taiwan confirmed that a spy that they had working for them in the PLA, Major General Liu Liankun, I think is his name. Forgive me if I get the pronunciation wrong. But yes, he leaked vital information from Beijing into Taiwan that actually led to the prevention of any military action between the two countries during a very sensitive, volatile time about 20 years ago. But because of a rather unfortunate presidential slip of the tongue, he was actually executed by China in 1999. As were as many as 74 different other Taiwanese spies over the years that were fighting for Taiwan's cause. But his actions, in my opinion, did lead to something positive, being that there was no official war. Now, one other thing I want to mention is that you may think that these spying operations and activities may only go on during Taiwan's green years, where the pro-independence DPP are in power, but even during the blue pro-unification years of Ma Ying-jeou, 2008 to 2016, there were several reports of spying still going on between the two countries. Notably in 2011, when Taiwan arrested their own Major General Lo Shenqie, and Beijing claimed that he was the highest ranking Taiwan military official to be working for China. And some might say that he was quite leniently punished when he was given life imprisonment as opposed to the firing squad that spies receive in China. So what's such a serious topic such as this got to do with me, one lone white trash YouTuber usually making videos about eating stinky tofu and drinking Taiwan beer or saying how beautiful Taiwan is. When I'm not teaching English, of course. Well, indeed, as a typical foreigner working here, it's very easy to kind of get lost in the everyday culture shock and excitement of being here and see life as one big adventure and exciting holiday, when in fact there are things going on at government level that we have absolutely no idea about. People maybe understand, people maybe don't understand, but one thing they do well here in Taiwan is they ignore it. Whether it's the things that are out in public for us to see and know about, the quite obvious green versus blue argument, or these more covert undercover spying programs that we have no idea about, people in Taiwan just don't like to talk about things such as this. Foreigners such as me, on the other hand, well, we enjoy a good natter, a good discussion or debate over politics whilst maybe having a beer or out at a restaurant with friends. Therefore, I thought I'd just make this video to raise the topic that many people seem not to want to talk about. And of course, it's worth bearing in mind that if things do go wrong at the upper echelons of the government, that things will be absolutely disastrous for Taiwan, its people, and anyone trying to make a life here. So please forgive me if this video causes any upset of any kind. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just interested to know what my viewers think about the whole situation. I understand that many Taiwanese people don't like to discuss such things, and the status quo situation that we have right now is valued by many. But what I'd really like people's opinion on is if we genuinely have this one country, two systems arrangement in place, then why do both sides, two systems, why do they have such a high number of spies feeding information to one another across the Taiwan Strait? Is it really possible to have a status quo situation with all this James Bond style espionage going on? Or are we just kidding ourselves? In my opinion, I don't think it is. But as I mentioned earlier, who am I to say? I'm just an overweight YouTuber spouting his mouth off about things that don't concern him, right? But yes, please let me know your comments and opinions in the comments section down below. I'm really interested to know what you think. And yes, it's probably going to lead to a good old-fashioned ding-dong down there in the comments section. But let's be honest, that's what YouTube is for, right? And if you've enjoyed this slightly more serious topic or serious take on things, then please smash that like button if that's the kind of thing you're into. I'm definitely going to need more likes to balance out all of those dislikes coming from you know where. But as for now, just want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for watching to the very end of the video. I really appreciate it and appreciate all of your support. Time to say goodbye. I'll see you next time in my life in Taiwan. Peace. Please.